Yo, what's up, all you burner stones and potheads? This is Weedman 420 with the Weedman 420 Chronicles. How are all you vipers doing out there? Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
How the hell are you?
Fantastic.
I love it. Hey, all you vipers out there in the world, hope you're smoking some big fat doinks while you listen to the show. Mrs. Weedman and I are about to get normal with some Platinum Lemon Cherry Gelato grown by our friend Big Earl. Platinum Lemon Cherry Gelato is an evenly balanced hybrid strain, 50-50 indica sativa, created through crossing the mint Girl Stout cookies and lemon haze strains. When it comes to the flavor of the celebrity child, the name says it all. Platinum Lemon Gelato packs a sweet, fruity cherry berry flavor with punches of super sour and creamy citrus lemon. The aroma follows the same profile, although with a touch of rich black pepper and fresh earthiness to it too. The Platinum Lemon Cherry Gelato high hits you almost as soon as you experience your first delicious exhale, filling your mind with immediate sense of uplifted euphoria and ease. You'll feel focused with a sense of creativity, motivation, and get you moving on the task at hand. But you better hurry. This focus will quickly turn heady, leaving you unfocused and giggly at times. This is going to be a fun show. These effects at its super high, between 27 and 30% average THC level, Platinum Lemon Cherry Gelato is often chosen to treat chronic fatigue, ADD or ADHD, migraines or headaches, depression, and chronic stress. This bud has tight, heart-shaped olive green nugs with thick amber hairs and a coating of frosty, milky amber crystal trichomes. The effects: euphoria, focus, giggly, happy, uplifting, relief symptoms of ADD, ADHD, depression, fatigue, headaches, migraines, and stress. Flavors: berry, cherry, fruity, herbal, spicy, and sweet. Aromas are citrus, earthy, fruity, lemon, sour, and spicy. And that is Lemon Cherry Gelato, given to us by our friend Big Earl. Thanks for doing to the cause, Big Earl. We appreciate you. We've smoked this strain a couple times since we got it, and haven't smoked it on the show yet. Mm-hmm. Great strain. Classic. Phenomenal. Delicious. Everything all about it. But boy, oh boy, does it get you...
Mm-hmm. See you soon.
Mm-hmm. While we're smoking, Mrs. Weedman is going to tell you a little bit about 8decades.com.
Yes, 8decades.com is our cannabis lifestyle brand. We are stomping the stigma and freeing the plant one product at a time. As you know, cannabis has been in prohibition for 8 decades. Let's not have a 9th.
Yes.
That's the hope, right? But yeah, we developed products. We developed cannabis accessories for people who want to also stomp the stigma and don't want to stash their shit anymore. And you want to put it out on your table and have it look nice and just be high quality, good cannabis tools, consumption tools. So check us out, 8decades.com. We also have Weedman 420 swag. And we've got links to the podcast. We've got some stories about us. We've got a link to Last Prisoner Project where you can donate and lots of other stuff. So check us out.
Nice.
That is 8 Decades, spelled out EIGHT, decades.com.
Love it. Check out 8decades.com because if you support our brand, we get to keep on doing the show every week to week. So we love you, everybody that's out there supporting the show. And then we have a new partner. And the sponsor of this episode, Goodies Dispensary in Streamwood, Illinois. Thank you, Goodies Dispensary in Streamwood, Illinois, for all the best craft cannabis selection. Check out Goodies Dispensary in Streamwood, Illinois. I was there last Saturday for their grand opening party, and boy, was it a banger. The DJ actually happens to be a friend of mine that actually works at a dispensary. He's the buyer for Social, and John banged. I thought I was at a nightclub or at an EDM show. He was banging. The food was great. The vibe was cool. The wind was blowing my weed all over the place because I was rolling doinks for people, but I didn't care. It was just such a cool vibe, and the high was great. So I want to thank Goodies Dispensary and Streamwood.com for the best pricing and the best craft selection in Illinois. Check out Goodies Dispensary in Streamwood, Illinois, our new partner and sponsor of this episode. So thanks, Goodies. We appreciate you. So I'm a nerd. I'll admit it. I've been a nerd my whole life. Popular nerd, maybe, I guess, if nerds are popular. And why am I a nerd, Mrs. Weedman? Because
you like anime and video games?
There you go.
Wild guess. Oh, sci-fi too?
Sci-fi too. Star Wars.
Star Wars?
Yeah, everything. No, sci-fi. I like everything sci-fi. But yes, I am a big nerd.
I don't think that's when we were growing up, to be a nerd was kind of a downfall.
Oh,
like
yeah.
A big
you
negative.
didn't want to be a nerd.
Now, It's kind of cool.
It's cool to be a nerd. The last
Yeah.
like 10, 15
Yeah.
years. It's cool to be a nerd.
You're riding your wave, Mr. Weedman.
Yes. And the crazy thing about it, remember the movie Revenge of the Nerds?
Yep.
That kind of brought in the 80s a sense of normality to nerdism, you know, because nerds were cool
Yeah.
versus jocks. You know, they portrayed themselves, that made them cool back then if you liked being a nerd or if you are a nerd. And it's funny because I was reading this article. I never knew really how the word came about. So this is from NPR, and nerd, how the word popularized by Dr. Seuss went from geeky insults to mainstream. I'll tell you a little about it. It may conjure images of Family Matters, bespectacled suspenders, clad Steve Urkel, which has a good strain, Purple Urkel, or the theoretical Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory, or Scooby-Doo's Velma. Sexy nerd. People today think Velma is very sexy. Or you may self-identify as a nerd due to your keen interest in certain hobbies or subjects like movies or grammar, anime, video games, books, so much more. Whimsical of parade floats, whatever nerds you out. Nerd has been a part of our lexicon for at least 3/4 of a century. Its geeky meaning embodied by some of the most recognizable characters in film, TV history. Still, how exactly it got into our vocabulary remains a bit murky. So, how it started with a nonsense word. The leading theory about the origin of nerd is that it's likely first appeared in print in the 1950s children's book, If I Ran the Zoo, written by Dr. Seuss, the pen name of Theodore Seuss Geisel. In the book, Seuss' young narrator says, "And then, just to show them, I'll sail to Cartrue and bring back an Itkutch, a Preep, and a Prue, a Nurgle, a Nerd, and a Seasucker, too." According to the online etymology dictionary, nerd became mid-century slang term used by students in the United States. It potentially developed the 1940s word nert, an alteration of the word nut that meant a stupid or crazy person, the dictionary said. If Seuss did have a hand in creating nerd, Alsick said, it would be what linguistics call a nuance formation, meaning a word that's made for one purpose and then gets reused. So if Dr. Seuss did coin the word nerd, he probably going off of the words like nert, which was around, or nuts. And then he goes from, and then other people are like, yeah, that sounds like a nerd. Let's go with it. 1 year after the use of by Seuss, nerd popped up in the 1951 Newsweek article describing modern slang. In Detroit, the author wrote, "Someone who once would be called a drip or a square is now regrettably a nerd, or in less severe case, a scurv." The Webster Dictionary recounts some of the popular theories of the word's genesis, including the possibility that it evolved from the backwards spelling of drunk, implying that nerds would rather study than party, or that it was lifted from the name of a ventriloquist dummy, Mortimer Snerd, created by radio performer Edgar Bergen. The dictionary says, though, there's no evidence for either theory. So nerds were outsiders, then it became cool. It didn't take long for nerds to take their place in pop culture. Jerry Lewis portrayed a hapless scientist in 1963, the Nutty Professor. By the 1970s, Happy Days cool guy Arthur Fonzarelli, the Fonz, was lobbying nerd around as an insulting, saying it in one episode that there are two types of people, cool and nerds. The following decade solidified the stereotype. In 1984, Cult, The Revenge of the Nerds, was released, pitting a group of outcast college students against their jock tormentors. But around the end of the 20th century, nerd culture assumed a more respected spot in American culture. The computing revolution made Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, and later interprets startup CEOs, household names. Rock bands like Weezer sported thick-rimmed glasses. And have you seen the Star Wars movies? Right. Matthew Klickstein, a pop culture historian and author of The Filmmaker, said that the 90s independent film movement and indie rock trend started making the weirdos, the misfits, the outsiders, the nerds, the geeks cool. He noted that it even spawned nerdy, geeky chick fashion styles and more. There's a question now about, has the tail wagged dog at this point? Are there people who are claiming they're nerdy, claiming they're geeky, who really just are vaunting or emulating the style without really understanding the substance? The nerd goes mainstream. In recent decades, art forms that once may have been considered the realm of nerds, comic books, sci fiction, video games, have exploded into popularity across the U.S. Yeah, see, we're all cool now. We're all cool. I mean, I've been watching anime and I've been watching sci-fi and I've been comic books, video. I mean, since like I was born, basically. And, you know, now we're cool. But I also played sports. But I tend to draw towards more that what I just mentioned, you know, all of the video game. I'm a video game fanatic. You can ask Mrs. Weedman. I'm a straight up nerd. Nerdyism. Just look up Mr. Weedman. I nerd out too on weed. I used to nerd out on beer. You know, does you nerd out on stuff that you like, you know? In recent decades, art forms that once may have been considered the realm of nerds, like I said, comic books, as Park and Recreation, Ben Wyatt once said, in a moment slightly lacking in self-awareness. You know, nerd culture is mainstream now, so when you use the word nerd derogatory, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist. The popularization of nerd culture has also dovetailed with an expanded definition of the word itself. Now, you don't have to wear a pocket protector and be into computers to qualify as a nerd. Nerds are simply people who are really into certain things. The Webster defines a nerd as unstylish or socially awkward person. But the first definition on its website characterized a nerd as a person devoted to intellectual, academic, or technical pursuits or interest, or a person preoccupied or devoted to a particular activity or a field of interest. According to Omar Holman, an author and content creator and co-founder of the website Black Nerd Problems, it could be a fan for a spectrum of things, and the spectrum being literally anything. It's whatever you are passionate about. Holman said nerds strive to spread their enthusiasm to others, especially with their laughs. How can I get you to care about this thing you don't know about that I know about? And hopefully you'll be passionate about it as I am. So that's how the word nerd came about. Like I said, I'm a nerd. I'm proud of it. I love being a nerd. I love being nerdy. Mrs. Weedman dated a nerd. Fell in love with a nerd. Didn't even know it.
Nerdy nerd. You didn't look like a nerd when I met you.
I don't look like a nerd. I just like nerdy things.
What does a nerd even look like anymore? Because there's a lot of people that are nerds, self-proclaimed.
There's a fashion and a style.
There's not like a nerd kind of look
because we all thought of nerds as wearing the pocket protector, the striped collared shirt, or
having their hair
right.
Like put in place perfectly,
like khaki pants, and that's all prim and proper,
super smart,
right?
Speaking like way over your intellectual level.
The dirty nerd, like Pigpen, or Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. You know, was a straight up, just straight up. Didn't care what he looked like. Wore dirty undershirts for 3 weeks and stunk probably, and didn't take showers, and his hair was all over the place. But he loved weed, and he loved big butts.
What? Who are you talking about?
Booger from Revenge of the Nerds. Call me Booger. He won the burping contest.
I always just want to brush his hair.
So it's cool to be a nerd nowadays. So stick with what you like out there.
Nerd out.
Just fucking be you, right?
Yeah, just be you. I mean, that's the plan. That's the mission.
That is, right?
Stick to it.
Yep. Let's get the show started, shall we?
Oh, we didn't even start the show yet?
No. We were just talking about nerds. You already high? You've been waiting to get high, though.
Oh,
you didn't get high when you got home from work.
I've had a long couple weeks.
Yeah, but you said like right when we got to eat dinner, like, I cannot wait to start the show and get high. Yeah. Usually Mrs. Weedman comes home from work on the day we don't do the show and smokes, within like 30 minutes before she gets home, aches and body aches.
I did smoke on my way home.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Maybe.
So usually I don't smoke before we do the show because we want people to see how that specific strain affects us during the show. So I don't want to ruin it by smoking before the show.
No, I'm good. Like, before I started
that
the
was
show,
like 4 hours ago before.
Yeah.
So, but Mrs. Weedman said when we were sitting down getting ready, she goes, I cannot wait to smoke a joint. So that's some good weeds.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to get yourself some Platinum Lemon Cherry Gelato, I highly suggest you do. So let's get the show started, shall we?
Let's do it.
Using cannabis seeds during the beer brewing process enhances the nutritional value, study shows on Marijuana Moment. All right, fam, get comfy. Today's brew talk on the Cannabis Show is on another cosmic level. Picture this, a group of sharp Polish scientists dropping knowledge that hemp seeds, those little power packet nuggets, aren't just for snacking anymore. They're sneaking into your pint to boost your beer. The study in a nutshell, hot off the press, published on August 20th of 2025, in Molecules and backed by grants from the European Regional Development Fund and Poland Science Ministry. The study tested beers brewed up to 30% hemp seeds, both malted and unmalted, comparing them against the standard barley-only control. That's right, up to a third of your brew could be hemp. And it's not just about novelty, it's functional. So there's some nutritional boost and bioactive goodness to this. They found that adding hemp seeds gives beer a unique sensory profile, plus a dose of biologically active compounds. Think proteins, fermentable sugars, polyphenols, and of course our favorite cannabinoids. All mingling with this classic barley flavor. It's like your beer just got a health upgrade. So there's polyphenols and antioxidants in this, which is great for your body. Unmalted hemp seeds significantly enriched with wort. Wort is the brewing process where they boil all the malt and barley and all the stuff they use, and it stinks. But when you drink it, it tastes like sweet tea. I love to drink wort. It tastes like the freshest tea.
Funk.
No, it tastes like sweet tea.
I know, but
because the sugars
cloudy.
from all the malts and barley.
It's like kombucha
brown.
cloudy, right?
No, not when you pour it through.
Yeah.
I have never had it
filter
cloudy. I've never had a filter. Just pour it. I've never had it cloudy. It's not totally clear, but it's not cloudy. It's more of a brownish, amberish color. If you're doing a dark malted, like an IPA, where it's a little bit darker in color, amberish color, and that's what that wort would look like.
And that comes out of that big, like, spaceship-looking machine.
Yes, the brewing process. So I love the taste of wort. I don't know if anybody's ever got a chance to try it, but if you ever have a chance to try wort.
Sorry.
Huh? What's up?
I said, wort you're talking about. It really isn't that funny. I'm just really high, so in my brain it sounded funny. Sorry.
So with powerful polyphenolics, like transfrulic acid and gallic acid, antioxidants and anti-inflammatory heavy hitters. It's like your brew's got superhero antioxidants protecting your chilled out vibes. So there's also some vitamins and some yeast love too. Malted hemp seeds, they didn't play around either. They boosted riboflavin, aka vitamin B12, levels in the wort. That's not just nutrition win, it helps nourish the yeast during fermentation. More riboflavin, smoother, healthier fermentation. Even the yeast is thanking the brewers. And just so you know, if you're brewing beer, if you're a brewer out there, I'm not an expert, but I did work for a brewery for a long time. And the thing what yeast does, after you brew your wort, then you have to put it in to get alcohol in the big giant fermenters. And you add yeast to that. And what yeast does is it eats all the sugars, like Pac-Man, and it pisses alcohol and it farts CO2. Because that's how you get the CO2 in beer. And that's how you get your alcohol in beer, from those little lactobacillus and all the different types of yeast they use to ferment your beer. And you get the goodness. So
professional beer storyteller.
I did. I was actually a really good beer storyteller for the company I worked for. One of my favorite things to do was beer dinners. Cannabinoids, but keeping it cool. Now, you might be wondering, what about the cannabinoids? Turns out, raw hemp seeds themselves have low cannabinoid levels, and there's mostly contamination from sticky trichomes, not the seeds producing it themselves. Researchers tested for CBDV, THCV, CBD, THCAA, CBG, CBN, CBC. You name it, they tried it to test for it. But again, levels are minimal, non-psychoactive, so don't expect a buzz from your barley brew. No, you're not getting high, just healthier, funkier beer. So there's some challenges in industry potential, though. There are some hurdles. Hemp is rich in cellulose, and it extracts contains sugars like xylose, which beer yeast cannot ferment. That means brewers got to optimize processing methods and keep production cost in check. Still, with hemp market growing at about a 17% CAGR, CAGR, from 2023 to 2030, these engineering challenges could be worth solving Innovation Station. Craft brewers, you seeing this, listening? I hear you out there. I see you brewing. Why it matters. As Millennial and Gen Z folks lean more towards cannabis-infused drinks instead of traditional booze, a beer enriched with hemp's nutrients might be a perfect crossover hit. And it's not just about beer. Other studies are exploring hemp seed blends as gluten-free flours with optimal bake textures and serious nutritional impact. So bottom line, buds, hemp seeds aren't just another garnish for your brew. They're functional, nutritious boosters packed with antioxidants, vitamins, and a unique flavor twist. They're paving the way for functional hemp-enriched beers. So next time you sip on that frosty pint, imagine it powered by nature's little miracle seed. Salute, Mrs. Weedman, to progress.
Hey.
Salute.
That's pretty cool.
Like that? Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you this. I drink a drink. They don't sponsor the show, but I've been drinking this drink. If you've all been watching me for 6 years, besides Mrs. Weedman, once in a while we'd have a glass of wine on the show or we drink a beer on the show. But I've been drinking this since the brewery I worked for created it, called Lagunitas Brewing Company, and they make this drink called Hoppy Refresher. And I've been drinking. It's a non-alcoholic. It's just basically
hop water.
It's hop water basically. It's just seltzer. It's just fermented yeast to make carbonation along with water and hops, hop extracts, and
they use like
hops.
Some natural essence.
I think
from
that's got mango essence
fruit,
or something in there. Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you all this. This got me to quit really drinking. Period. And I still like my beer once in a while, but this is better than a beer. There's no calories, no carbs, no sugars. It's fucking delicious. And the reason why I like it even more is and I think I've said this on the show before, it enhances the flavor of weed when you smoke it.
Because
You're
of the
all
hops.
going to think I'm crazy, but I just smoked that Platinum Lemon Cherry Gelato, and I tasted like 4 different flavors in my mouth. It is a refreshing beverage to drink when you're stoned. It is so fucking good.
It is. I'm laughing because I think you're doing a commercial right now.
I am, because I sold it.
It's become.
It's my favorite drink.
You love it.
I go through a case every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It is, if you are a stoner and you get cotton mouth, this will take the cotton mouth away. Unlike beer, which leaves like my tongue sticking to the roof of my mouth if I drink more than 2 when I'm really stoned because of the malt.
Is that a nationwide product?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. It is great if you're stoned. If you don't want to drink anymore, it has that beerish flavor because of the hops and the carbonation. It's fucking great, and it enhances the flavor of your weed when you smoke. Try it. Go ahead, Ms. Weedman.
You can get it at Whole Foods, which means it's probably nationwide, and you can pick it up on Amazon.
And you can also pick it up at Kenwood Liquors here.
Well, of course, you're local. Yeah, that's preference, but I'm just saying for people who may be rural or
that's where I get it from.
Somewhere different.
My homies at Kenwood Liquors
It's
there
out
in
there.
Oak Lawn, they always have it in stock for me. So, but yeah, it is a phenomenal beverage. It's refreshing. It's just, I'm just telling you, try it one time and throw me a shout out. Like send me a DM or something and let me know if you tried it and you smoked some weed with it and tell me that I'm wrong or I'm right, because it does.
Well, it's like a pairing.
Yes, absolutely.
They pair well together.
Absolutely.
They complement
Yes,
one another.
Lagunitas, before Heineken bought them out, when Tony McGee owned it, it was, I think he started a brewery so he can promote weed.
That's really what it was.
Basically. And literally they smoked weed everywhere. So,
and it was in all of their marketing campaigns.
Oh yeah, it's a great brewery. But try that Hoppy Refresher. So, and I'm telling you, they don't sponsor the show. I don't even get a free case of beer from them anymore.
No,
free
you
case
don't.
of Hoppy Refresher. So I don't get sponsored by them at all. I just love the drink. So, cannabis isn't the problem, Mrs. Weedman, right?
It is not.
It's how we use it.
Yeah.
Might be. So what happens when you smoke so much weed, it makes you sick. High Times is back. Thank you, High Times, for throwing this out there.
He rolls into the emergency department, gripping his stomach, pale, miserable, and defeated. I recognize him instantly. His 5th visit this year. A daily dabber, a heavy hitter, usually proud of his tolerance. Now he's drenched in sweat, dry heaving uncontrollably, and between waves of nausea, he gasps out his only relief. Blazing hot showers with hours spent curled beneath the water. And then he says, weed helps my anxiety. But he's groaning at this moment, desperate for understanding. He's telling the truth, but he's also right that something had fundamentally changed. Well, Cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, or CHS, is impacting more cannabis users, especially those who prefer potent THC concentrates. Emergency departments around the nation are reporting increases in CHS cases, but public awareness and education lag. Addressing CHS openly doesn't mean demonizing cannabis. It just means recognizing that there's a serious issue that's too critical to ignore. Despite rising numbers and long-term impact, weed vomiting remains the cannabis problem that nobody talks about. Users dismiss it, doctors overlook it, but with dabs and vapes on the rise, ER visits are climbing. CHS is not a made-up scare tactic. It's real, intense, cyclical vomiting, severe abdominal pain, and uniquely, relief comes from hot showers. Doctors use the Rome 4 criteria: repeated vomiting linked to heavy cannabis use, dramatic improvement when cannabis stops, and no other medical cause. Still, many suffer years of misdiagnoses like gastritis, anxiety, gallbladder issues before they actually find answers. CHS, cannabis hyperemesis syndrome, demands a compassionate, honest approach that respects cannabis culture and prioritizes health. Cannabis typically soothes nausea, but in some it can actually cause relentless vomiting. The mechanism is complex and poorly understood, but we do know THC overstimulates the TRPV1 receptor, our body's heat sensor, which disrupts the internal thermostat. So hot showers work because they reset those confused signals. The endocannabinoid system, especially CB1 receptors, also play a role. Normally, these receptors help cannabis calm us, but high-dose chronic THC desensitizes them, disrupting brain-gut communication. And serotonin and dopamine pathways go haywire. Over 90% of serotonin is produced in the gut, so this has powerful effects. Dig deeper, and you'll find cellular issues too. Many CHS patients show signs of mitochondrial dysfunction or damage to the tiny powerhouses inside our cells, often flagged by elevated lactate levels in the ER. With daily cannabis use now outpacing alcohol use in the United States, nutrient deficiencies like B1, magnesium, and potassium are increasingly common. While some once blamed contaminants or pesticides, research now shows that pure THC alone can trigger CHS. CHS isn't a flaw in the cannabis. It's a reflection of how it's used. 20 years ago, CHS was virtually unheard of. Traditional flower rarely caused it. But today's ultra-potent products like distillates, vape pens, and dabs often exceed 80% THC, creating a different story. Most CHS patients are younger, daily users, dabbing or vaping multiple times a day, and states with high-potency products consistently report more ER visits linked to CHS. Like alcohol or caffeine, cannabis demands respect, and the more potent the product, the more important informed use becomes. CHS remains controversial. Users feel unheard. Doctors misdiagnose. Some influencers dismiss it as a conspiracy. Others blame toxins, not THC. Meanwhile, doctors unfamiliar with cannabis may overlook nuanced cases or, conversely, blame cannabis too quickly. These misunderstandings stem from culture, identity, and trust. But the solution isn't abstinence, it's harm reduction. CHS is manageable. Full cessation works, but many improve by making smart adjustments, like reducing frequency to restore receptor sensitivity, or lowering potency by switching from dabs to flower. You can take tolerance breaks, even short ones. You can track your triggers, like certain strains, what level of dosing, the type of method of consumption. Stay hydrated and manage your stress. Try supportive supplements like ginger, magnesium, CBD, thiamine or B1, and beta-carotene. I don't really know why. Do you know why?
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know why?
No.
Why? Trying ginger, magnesium, CBD.
Yeah, like what would that?
Well, just because we
just to
lack
balance
it,
out your
but
gut.
We also
and,
right.
Yeah,
gut
because
health.
they're low.
It all starts in the gut.
Yeah,
A
gut
lot
health.
of it, and your mouth. So
Yay. What goes in comes out.
that's it.
All right. For acute relief, capsaicin cream and certain anti-nausea meds can help, but talk to your doctor. Months later, this same patient returns. No stretcher this time, no IV, and he's smiling. He'd cut back dabs. He switched to flour. He stayed hydrated, and he started taking supplements. Guess what? He was just like taking care of himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? No more vomiting, he says. His use is under control, and his life is back. CHS isn't a death sentence. It's a wake-up call. It deserves to be talked about. Respect for the plant means respecting what it can do, good or bad, and learning how to work with it. Informed cannabis use is intentional, self-aware, and sustainable. CHS isn't something to fear or deny. It's a challenge, and we can overcome it together.
Pow!
Pow.
Just like Step Brothers when he was going, pow! I'm telling you, that article was big because we've talked about CHS a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked to a lot of people that can't smoke anymore because of this. And we've been talking about this for a long time now, that cannabis is too strong. THC percentage is too strong. And that's our endocannabinoid system can only take so much. Mm-hmm. And I've discussed with multiple people that we need to start bringing those other minor cannabinoids back in more and more. Higher doses of that, low. Stop making the plant over 30, 40%. Stop wrecking your body with, don't get me wrong, everybody. I love hash. I love hash rosin. I love smoking hash. Mm-hmm. But give me hash that's in the 50% wise, 40% wise. I don't need 90%. I don't touch distillate that's over fucking 60%. And I know we've smoked 80%. I've smoked all the way to 99%. But nowadays, if someone hands me a distillate pen, I ask them, like, what's the milligram dose of this? Oh, 92%. I'm good. I'm just going to stick to my flour. Because there's no way our bodies were meant to take that much. I'm sorry, everybody, to tell you out there. And you all buy it. And hey, to each his own. If it's your thing. But if you're seeing the problem, what we just read and what we've read in the past with cannabis hyper syndrome and CHS, and you're getting sick from using weed, when I hear that, I'm like, what did you do to yourself? Mm-hmm. It ain't the plant's fault. It ain't the plant's fault. It's the user's fault. Right.
And it's just it's sad because obviously the person who gets to this state, most oftentimes, if it's because of overconsumption, not because of just an intolerance, they generally really enjoy cannabis.
Yeah.
And now they're at this point where they can't have it.
Right.
So my theory, my whole life, is what, Mr. Weedman?
You've taught me it well in the 31 years we've been together.
Yeah.
Moderation.
Yeah. Enjoy shit. Just don't be a glutton, right?
If you're not,
and I'm not, that probably sounds terrible. I'm not calling anyone a glutton. Seriously. We all have things that we enjoy and things that we
likes
do.
ice cream.
I am a glutton. Yeah, for sweets.
And I'm a glutton for punishment.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Like you said, moderation. Don't overconsume.
Yeah,
Your body wasn't
moderation,
meant to. My dad used to say. What my dad used to say? Don't be a fucking muta de vam. Mm-hmm. Don't be a pig.
Don't be a pig.
Don't be a glutton.
My grandma would say, "Oh, big eyes." If we came back from a buffet and our plate was like this big and we were all like this big, she'd be like, "Oh, big eyes." Like, basically, you better fucking eat every bit of that shit. Because she's from Europe, a little old European lady, and you don't waste. You do not waste.
The Great Depression too, And you just understand something. We've talked about this, folks. Do your research. Start low and go slow. You do not need, unless you have an issue medically wise, or you can't. Your tolerance is fucking out of there, and you don't get sick from smoking high, but. If you're a newbie or somebody that smokes moderately or maybe socially, doesn't use it every day, you need to learn what you're taking in your body. And if you're not, I'm sorry, nowadays it ain't like it was in the 80s and 90s, 70s and 60s when THC was 2 to 6%. But there was also a lot of other cannabinoids in that weed too, because they didn't breed them out. So you were getting full force of and that's why people were just so mellow and chill when they smoked, you know, because it wasn't just all about the THC. They didn't know it back then, but there was so much other good things in your body that you were taking in that now we just bred it all out because that's what sells. And to me, it just degrades what we do. The benefits, what cannabis does, and what we've been promoting for 6 years. Just please, if you're out there and you get sick, give your body a break for a while, come back, but look for a higher CBD ratio, lower THC concentration.
And just take it. Don't go into it like a whole new consumer.
Right.
Start at 5 milligrams. Start at 2.5 milligrams.
Just start low. Look for the lowest dose.
You can maintain that. I think because we don't consume around the clock, it's almost like we're giving ourselves a tolerance break because our body doesn't have THC for half of the day. And then it has it for the second half of the day.
We love it socially, but we also use it for medicine.
Right.
And you don't take your medicine from the time some people do, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. Right. But I don't take my medicine 7 times a day. I don't need it. You know, I need cannabis for my back pain and I need cannabis for sleep. And I like it enjoyably on the, you know, when we watch TV or we hang out or we're going out socially, that's a different story. Socially is different, but I still don't ever overconsume. I don't need to overconsume.
Unless I make you...
a honey drink?
If I make you a mocktail.
That's a mistake.
An infused mocktail with 5 gazillion milligrams in it.
But what I'm trying to get at here, folks out there, is just learn your body and learn to experience cannabis the way it was meant for our endocannabinoid system. Learn that first. You're going to mess up. But just promise me out there that you won't get to that point where you're just banging 99% THC all day, every day. It's just going to destroy your body. It's going to your endocannabinoid system's not going to be working in the future. And this is what's going to happen. You're going to have failures in your body because you've overconsumed something.
And then you're going to be sad.
Yes.
Because you can't enjoy something that you really enjoy.
And you loved weed your whole life, and then you can't smoke it. That's the one thing we hear from people going, I'm bummed I can't smoke it anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, have you given it a try? Nope.
Yeah, they won't even try they're scared because it's bad.
That's how bad it was.
Yeah, that's how bad people get hit with this CHS. So just be careful out there. Got questions, reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out. So, all right, we've talked about cannabinoids. We've talked about different cannabinoids so many times, but the one that's confusing people is the difference between cannabis sativa and hemp. Everybody they're the same. We've talked about this. It's different species of a plant, but it's Delta 9 is Delta 9.
Right.
So I'm going to go through this guide to hemp-derived cannabis because just people who are out there that can't go to a dispensary, they might not be a dispensary, or they don't want to go to a dispensary, so they go to their head shops, you know, and in like Texas, where it's all head shops or all places where they have hemp because their medical cannabis is terrible there. It's like, I think it's like 6 shops and there's nothing on there. Iowa too, 3 dispensaries or something like that, or 4 dispensaries. And I think you have like 4 ailments to be able to get a card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So you go to the hemp store and you buy your hemp drinks, or you buy your gummies, or there's also flour for sale at some shops too. There's also hemp-derived dabs in there too. So, you know, rosin and distillate and all that stuff. Yeah, it's all there for you. So you need to know when you go to those stores what you're taking in if you're not educated. So I found one that just talks about hemp-derived, but this is good because it hit a couple of good points. So having a hard time getting your head around hemp-derived cannabis, with compounds like Delta-8, minor cannabinoids, and 9 psychoactive CBD flying around, the modern legal cannabis landscape can often feel overwhelming and confusing. Demystify hemp-derived cannabinoids. Let's start with the basics. What is hemp-derived cannabis? In short, hemp is a variety of cannabis plants that test at 0.3% THC or less. In the wake of the passage of the 2018 U.S. Farm Bill, products featuring hemp-derived cannabinoids have surged in popularity. They include the non-psychoactive cannabinoid CBD, traces amount of Delta-9, the same as THC found in non-hemp cannabis. Delta-8, a weaker form of its more popular THC sibling. And new wonders like Delta-10. And if you think cannabis plants as a box of crayons, hemp-derived cannabinoids are like a handful of fascinating new colors you've yet to color with.
Ooh,
you like that?
I like that.
I like that too.
New crayons are great.
Completely safe and available in a myriad of enticing forms and formulas. Let's look under the hood at what each cannabinoid offers. So the non-psychoactive ones, CBC, short for cannabiserum, CBC, doesn't bind strongly to our natural endocannabinoid system CB1 receptors, but it does interact with some lesser known receptors, the TRPV1 and the TRPA1, which can help to modulate inflammation, pain perception, offering appealing potential as a targeted non-intoxicating pain relief option. Also good for brain health, also good for acne. Get rid of those zits. First identified in 1896, research suggests CBN can play a role as sleep aid and that it may help support the reverse of bone loss associated with osteoporosis. That was the cannabinoid I was telling you about last night. Additionally, CBN may also have antibacterial properties against bacteria such as Staphylococcus and Mr. Cephalophagus. Long considered a great cannabinoid for multitasking, CBD is associated with a wide range of reported benefits covering everything from relieving pain, reducing stress, to taming seizures, and even contributing to clearer skin. And it does it all without the psychoactivity of THC, leading to its recent popularity. What? Psychoactive?
No, I'm just laughing still about the
Mr. Cephalophagus?
Yes.
Leading to recent popularity and non-intoxicating safe options for canna-curious consumers to try. CBG, the mother of all cannabinoids, is short for cannabigerol, a comparatively rare cannabinoid that typically comprises less than 1% of the cannabis strains. While there are studies that show CBG may help with inflammation, reducing stress, also helps gut health too, and digestion. Gives you good poops. There is indication that the cannabinoid may help address some other more challenging conditions. And then we have low strength. Delta-9 THC is the compound that most people think of when they hear THC, but there's a lot to like about Delta-8 THC too. Known to typically deliver a subtler, less intense experience, Delta-8 products are a great option for those desiring a lower altitude flight. Many describe the experience of Delta-8 as a more subtle, and this reduced intensity can make it a popular choice for individuals seeking a mellower and balanced experience. Like its siblings, Delta-10 THC is mostly hemp-derived and produces psychoactive effects, often described as being distinctively uplifting and inspiring productive and mental clarity in some consumers. Recognized as an outlier in the THC family, THCB is a natural occurring cannabinoid in hemp and cannabis plants, but one that's marked differently from its siblings. Unlike classic high associated with THC, THCV is only very mildly intoxicating. It's said to provide a more clear-headed or less foggy experience, which has made THCV popular among those with get stuff done stuff mindset, looking for a touch of THC. According to early research, THCV may act as an appetite suppressant, which is earned in somewhat infamous nickname, the diet weed. Now we got regular strength. Is there a difference between THC and Delta-9? No. Nope. So when you go to a head shop and you see everything saying Delta-9, it's THC.
But that's where so much of the confusion comes in, because most people are familiar with Delta-9.
Most people are familiar with THC.
THC, Delta-9. Right?
It's the same.
I know, but forever, that's the familiar Delta, right? Like, that was always the go-to, was Delta-9 THC. That's what people knew. It was weed, it was marijuana, it was, flower, it was Delta-9, right?
Most people called it THC.
I know, but from Delta-9, like that was the cannabinoid, Delta-9 THC. Right?
Yeah.
You're
talking about just now, from then to now. Yeah.
Like forever.
Right.
That's the most common
but,
THC.
But nobody called it Delta-9.
I understand, but it was Delta-9 THC.
Yes.
And then hemp came into play.
Right.
And now they're calling it hemp-derived THC, but then they're calling it Delta-9, and then they throw in Delta-8 and Delta-10, and it's like...
Well, there's different cannabinoids, right?
That's what I'm getting. I'm further emphasizing the mass confusion.
Gotcha.
In all of it, that what most people know and what we've talked about for years, the campaigns of the war on drugs was about THC, which was also the most commonly known as Delta 9
Yes.
THC
Yes.
from the marijuana plant.
Yes.
Now we have a hemp plant. It's the same plant.
Yes.
And when they first started talking about the deltas with hemp-derived cannabis or hemp-derived flower, they talked about Delta 8 and 10. They were letting cannabis remain Delta 9. And then all of a sudden, over here in the hemp world, they started saying Delta 8, 9, and 10. And it just keeps kind of snowballing into all of these different names when most people haven't even learned about the basics. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just so much confusion.
Well, because
Hemp,
they've discovered
there's
more
cannabis.
cannabinoids.
I know, but we're still just talking about Delta 9. But now we're putting it in two places. We're putting it in hemp and cannabis and confusing people.
Right.
It's all the same thing.
Yes.
It's just different levels of THC within it.
Right. There's different.
Am I confusing
Oh, you
you?
confused the fuck out of me.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Hopefully I'm not confusing everybody.
Somebody's going to get it. Somebody's going to be as stoned as you out there and going to get what you talked about.
All I'm saying is it's the same thing. It's all the same thing.
Right.
But we've been taught all of a sudden that it's different things.
But there are.
And they're right, but you just said it's the same. See, so
No,
it's
it's the
confusing.
same plant, but
Right.
different cannabinoids.
Right.
They're finding there's 250 cannabinoids.
Yes.
We've only ever talked
know.
about Delta 9 THC.
That's what I'm saying.
right?
Right.
But now they discovered all these other cannabinoids,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
They discovered Delta 8, which
Yes.
is a milder one,
Yes.
right? They discovered Delta 10, which
Yes.
is a little bit more psychoactive, right?
Right.
They discovered THCV.
Yes.
They discovered CBN, CBG, CBD. They discovered all these cannabinoids that have been in this wonderful plant,
Right.
whether it be coming from the hemp plant or the cannabis plant, which are
Right.
one and the same,
Right.
just a different species, right?
Right.
They all are developed through that, right? Do you are you understanding?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. This
So-
is what we're both
Yeah.
saying the same thing.
of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stoner Talk. We're talking in circles and we're both saying the same thing and we don't think we are.
Just saying. There's
Go on.
newer cannabinoids
Go on,
that
Mr.
have
Weedman.
been discovered.
Yes.
That's confusing to people.
It's all confusing to people is what we're
This is
trying
why
to
we're
say.
rereading this
Right.
for the 30th time
Yes,
in 6 years to help people understand it.
I'm totally following.
I know you are. So is there a difference between THC and Delta 9? Nope. Delta 9 THC is fully the same as THC. The main reason it's called Delta 9 is to distinguish it from the types of THC in Delta family, such as Delta 8 and Delta 10.
Right.
Mrs. Weedman took my whole mo.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
It was just a moment. It was a moment.
Well, you had the
I had a moment.
platinum lemon
Yes.
cherry gelato moment. It says it goes right to your head.
Lemon cherry gelato. Yay.
We light that up.
Sure.
Now there's HHC, in short for hexahydrocannabinol, a cannabinoid that has only recently emerged in the cannabis industry to capture the curiosity of enthusiasts and researchers alike. While it's structurally related to THC, the primary psychoactive compound in cannabis, it possesses its own unique properties and effects. At present, it's estimated that HHC is roughly 80% as potent as THC. So does that confuse you more, Mrs. Weedman?
I am not confused.
And according
I'm
to
trying to tell you.
anecdotal,
But a lot of people are.
according,
And now we probably made them more confused.
and according to anecdotal reports, it can provide a euphoric,
Tough.
uplifting experience while supporting a clearer, focused mental state. Then there's THCA, tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. That is the acid form of THC. Right? Will you just pass me the joint? Thanks, Mrs. Weedman. Mrs. Weedman having problems over there, everybody. She's having problems. So this is the acidic precursor to THC. The A signifies that it's acidic. Through their names and chemical structures are very similar. It's important to be clear on these two important cannabis compounds. THCA is formed within the trichomes, the tiny little mushroom-shaped glands that appear at the silvery dust you see on cannabis flower. While not psychoactive when exposed to heat, THCA turns into THC through the process called what, Mrs. Weedman?
Decarboxylation.
There you go, decarbing it, leading to some
Pulled that out of nowhere.
leading to some legit benefits. I love me some of the platinum lemon cherry
Big
gelato.
Earl. The shit's good.
Now we have high strength. High strength.
Mm-hmm.
Only just isolated by Italian scientists in 2019, THCP is relatively new and highly sought after cannabinoid. Notably, it's been found to have structure and properties that make it much more potent than THC when it's introduced to the endocannabinoid system. It's a naturally occurring compound in cannabis, though only in trace amounts. By some estimates, THCP may be 30 times more potent than Delta 9 THC. Because THCP is so new, research is still going to explore other THC effects and benefits. Soar to new heights with this potent power of THCP. Another 2019 discovery, THCH. I'm blowing your way right now with all these new THCs.
I'm just spacing out.
THC
You're good.
also occurs in very trace amounts and is typically synthesized from other more abundant cannabinoids for the use of cannabis products. THCH interacts with the endocannabinoid system and strongly binds to the CB1 receptors. THCH, like THCB and THCP, is believed to be much more potent than THC during its impactful relationship with our what? CB1 receptors. This high-potency variant of THC also first isolated in 2019 by the same team who discovered THCP. THCB is a new and exciting addition to the similarity to THCP in that it binds more strongly to your CB1 and your CB2 receptors than THC, though it's not as potent as THCP.
Wow.
So having these facts and the facts you got from Mrs. Weedman, all the difference when it comes to finding a hemp-derived cannabis brand you can trust. So do your research, look into the company's COAs, and make sure you're getting legit shit, you know? So, but I like to review these as we find out about more newer cannabinoids too, but also reviewing the older ones and the ones that have been around for a hot minute because of the new listeners that this might be their first show they're listening to, and now they just learned about what they're taking in their body.
Or they didn't. It depends.
On who you listen to.
And how high they might be. That might factor into some stuff.
So a couple episodes ago, we talked about wieners.
Oh, yeah.
We did. And how cannabis can help your wiener. And now we're going to go back to talking more about
the vajayjay.
and how marijuana is a promising treatment for women struggling to achieve orgasm. Scientific review shows, and this is from Marijuana Moment. Thank you. Take it over, Mrs. Weedman.
Marijuana is associated with improvements in symptoms of female orgasmic disorder, according to a newly released scientific review. So I'm going to keep saying FOD or FOD. I don't know how that'll come out of my mouth, but it'll come out of my mouth one of those ways. And that is female orgasmic disorder.
So you're a FOD?
FOD.
FOD. Hey, FOD you.
I don't know if that's funny or not. Gotta think about that. The research involved an analysis of one randomized controlled trial and 15 observational studies using data from a total of 8,849 women. Based on the findings, study authors determined that marijuana appears to be a promising treatment for female orgasmic disorder, with the majority of studies reviewed reporting improvements in orgasm function and satisfaction among women who use cannabis. Researchers from the Female Orgasm Research Institute, I wonder how they do studies there, and the Association of Cannabinoid Specialists, I mean, think about that, right? The Female Orgasm Research Institute. Sorry, honey, I'm going to work today.
Where you work at?
We're working on a new area.
Where do you work at?
The Female Orgasm Research Institute. I'm blushing just thinking about it. Okay, and the Association of Cannabinoid Specialists. Okay. The researchers said, oh my gosh, I'm on fire. The review found consistent evidence that cannabis improves orgasm functions in females with and without female orgasmic disorder or difficulty. Their research was published in the journal Sexual Medicine this week. There are currently no conventional treatments for this condition, which is estimated to affect about 41% of women worldwide. the paper says. Improved orgasm function, including increased frequency, intensity, quality, ease, satisfaction, and the ability to experience multiple orgasms per sexual encounter, was reported in all 9 studies that evaluated cannabis use before sexual activity. Yay, weed. Consistent reports of improved orgasm function in women with and without FOD or difficulty span 50 years of research. This has been going on for a bit, with cannabis suggested as a treatment for sexual disorders since 1979, the paper says. Benefits associated with cannabis use were observed across diverse study designs, populations, and cannabis use contexts. Given this growing body of evidence, FOD and difficulty, so it's a disorder or a difficulty, should be considered a qualifying condition for medical cannabis, and medical cannabis should be evaluated as a potential first-line treatment, the study authors said. These findings suggest a strong association between cannabis use and improved orgasm function. Pardon me. Suzanne Mulvihill, who co-authored the paper with Jordan Tischler, told Marijuana Moment, "We now need gold standard randomized controlled trials to determine optimal dosing, timing of use, and effectiveness across FOD subtypes," she said. This systematic review confirmed that cannabis has the potential to help millions of women overcome orgasm disorder and difficulty and improve their health, relationships, and quality of life, Mulvihill added. Another study published recently found that marijuana use is associated with increased sexual desire and arousal, as well as lowering levels of sexual distress. Last year, a separate study found that cannabis-infused vaginal suppositories seemed to reduce sexual pain in women after treatment for gynecological cancer. Combining the suppositories with online exercises and mindful compassion offered patients even more substantial benefits. As for sexual fulfillment, a separate study last year found that while alcohol might be effective to facilitate sex, marijuana is better at enhancing sexual sensitivity and satisfaction. While alcohol increases some elements of sexual attraction, people who use marijuana have more sensitivity and they are more sexually satisfied than when they consume alcohol, authors wrote. A broad scientific review of academic research on cannabis and human sexuality published last year concluded that while the relationship between marijuana and sex is a complicated one, use of cannabis is generally associated with more frequent sexual activity as well as increased sexual desire and enjoyment. That article, published in the journal of Psychopharmacology, also suggested that the lower dose of marijuana may actually be best suited for sexual satisfaction, while higher doses could in fact lead to decreases in desire and performance. And it suggested effects may differ between men and women. Numerous online surveys have also reported positive associations between marijuana and sex. One study even found a connection between the passage of marijuana laws and increased sexual activity. Another study, however, cautions that more marijuana doesn't necessarily mean better sex. A literature review published in 2019 found that cannabis's impact on libido may depend on dosage, with lower amounts of THC correlating with the highest levels of arousal and satisfaction. Most studies showed that marijuana has a positive effect on women's sexual function. The study found, but too much THC can actually backfire. On the surface, this type of research may seem quirky, one of the study authors said, but the psychological aspects of sexual function, including how we think about our own bodies, our attraction to our partners, and our ability to connect to people intimately, are all important to psychological well-being in sexually active adults. Oh, that's the end. I'm like winded. I felt like I went for a bike ride just now. That was a long one. My cheeks are blushing. Whew. Well, ladies, smoke more weed. Maybe you'll have more fun.
Just enough weed. Don't overdo
Or
the
get a
weed.
job at the Orgasm Institute for research. Active research. I mean, come
free
on.
weed and free
Free
orgasms.
weed and orgasms all day long.
Sounds like a fucking great place to
All right,
be.
ladies, legs up. Smoke a joint. Like what? What happens in that building?
You should go find out. Let me know.
I'm going to go. It's going to be a ladies' weekend. Yes. We're going on a field trip to do some research
Just tell me all about it when you get
on
home.
some strains. I'll let you know how it goes. I'll send you a postcard.
I love it. And a picture.
A bananagram. We might have some of those there. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Wes,
Big Earl. Big
what
Earl.
did you grow?
Big Earl. Got Mrs. Weedman.
Holy
She wanted to get high.
cow.
I love it. Said it gives you the giggles. Makes you
Wow.
silly. Silly, I tell you.
Silly.
Made Mrs. Weedman silly.
Silly.
Marijuana and CBD provide significant symptom relief for inflammatory bowel disease patients. Federally funded
We're
study
moving
shows.
right on from sexuality.
I know, right? To poop.
Poop. Right on there.
Here, it all depends on what you like.
Poopy
Here's a
poop.
federally funded study hitting the airwaves that big for folks dealing with inflammatory bowel syndrome or IBD. Think Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, the kind of pain that cramps your style more than your gut. Published July 25th of 2025, researchers at Case Western Reserve University, backed with by the NIH, surveyed 106 IBD patients plus 39 non-IBD patients ages 18 to 69. More than half of the IBD folks said cannabis and CBD offered beneficial, even significant symptoms relief for abdominal pain, general pain, stress, anxiety, depression, nausea, you name it. And check this, 19.4% reported decreased opioid use, while 14.5% they experienced remissions from symptoms thanks to cannabis or CBD oil. Let that sink in. Some patients are not just chilling, they're feeling actual remission. Patients ranks cannabis and CBD effectiveness almost on par with prescribed meds. That's high praise from a group that's been through the ringer. To break it down, 54% reported that using cannabis, 41% reported using CBD oil. Overall, 63% said cannabis was somewhat too extremely beneficial. And 57% were saying the same about CBD oil. So the short term versus long term. Turns out IBD patients lean more on cannabis, CBD for short term symptom relief. 37% for cannabis, 26% for CBD, compared to long term management at 23% and 18% respectively. So it's like, hit me now, not later. People are using it to manage acute flares, not necessarily a daily regimen yet. This federally backed survey shows two things loud and clear. Growing interest from IBD patients in using cannabis and CBD as complementary all alternative therapies. Strong perception of effectiveness despite the clinical evidence still playing catch up. Our folks are feeling in the real time, even if the textbooks lag behind. And hey, reducing opioid meds, that's a win on multiple levels. The study finds up with broader reviews that say cannabinoid therapy can reduce disease activity, improve quality of life in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis patients, even though it might not change what the scope sees inside. So it's like you might not flip lab results upside down, but how you feeling? That's legit improvement. So for all IBD peeps out there, this study sends love and legit validation. You're not imagining things. Cannabis and CBD are making a difference. Just remember, smooth vibes, healing lives. You like that, Miss Weedman?
That's great.
Smooth vibes, healing lives.
That's right.
The whole time I was reading that, all I kept on thinking about is you going to the
Research
the
Institute.
Research Institute of Orgasm.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Both me thinking
really
about it and you going there. Oh shit! Sorry, everybody. Weed has a surprising impact on driving skills. This study says.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Mrs. Weedman.
Yeah. So these topics so far have been kind of repeat topics for us, but these are newer studies that are happening. So we always talk about we need more research. We need more studies.
And we look into more research every time I see something that said, oh, a newer study or more research has been done. I make sure that we update what we've learned in the past.
Yeah, like that last one, there were some references to an article that we read the last time about that So
But it's good as
we're just trying to
refresher, right?
continue the conversation about it.
Yes.
So driving and weed. With cannabis use on the rise, states are struggling to determine the legal limits of THC for drivers. However, a new study may offer insights into the effects of THC on driving. A recent study published in Psychopharmacology found that after consuming delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, or THC, drivers slowed their speed and increased their following distance.
That's me.
The study looked at the effects of THC on drivers' hazard perception and risk-taking behaviors like speeding propensity, following distance, and gap acceptance. Researchers assessed 43 medical cannabis patients' simulated driving performance before and after their consumption of their prescription THC oils. Overall, the study findings suggest that cannabis patients compensate for having ingested THC oils, as evidenced by their reduced speed and increased following distance. However, there was no significant change in gap acceptance wait time, which is the amount of time a driver waits at an intersection before accepting a gap in the cars as large enough to enter traffic. While the participants' actual hazard perception skill performance, like predicting traffic conflicts, did not significantly decline after consumption, most of the participants believed that their performance had declined, rating their perceived performance lower. Sorry, I need water. Thank you. Okay. So they rated their perceived performance lower. This suggests that consumers are unable to accurately self-assess their ability to predict traffic scenarios where it would be necessary to slow down or change course. However, the study had several limitations that the authors noted because there was a wide variance in the amounts of THC each participant had. Despite these limitations, the study presented important preliminary findings on the effects of THC oil on drivers' performance, warranting further research. With so much discourse over consumers on the road, every scientific study is needed to better understand the impact that cannabis can have.
Nice.
That's that.
Yes. That horchata got you a little phlegmy, huh?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I had some horchata. It was delicious.
It was good.
But now I'm like clearing my throat. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Why? What? I had dairy before. Dummy. Sorry, everybody.
Horchata is delicious, though. I forgive you because it's so good.
It was good.
It was good. You said it tastes exactly like rice pudding, right?
It did.
So, political, state, and business news. Once again, the sub shop J.P. Graziano's is bringing back the cannabis-infused Jardiniere here in Chicago, the popular West Loop sandwich shop. If you've never gone, make it a stop. It's always busy, especially at lunchtime, but it's worth the wait. And so the sandwich shop and grocer is re-releasing the popular elevated condiment for a limited time. Your sandwich game. It can take your sandwich game to another level, literally, with cannabis-infused spicy Jardiniere from West Loop Sandwich King J.P. Graziano's, created in collaboration with local family-owned retailer New Era Cannabis. Jardiniere features the eatery's classic Jardiniere recipe, packed with fiery peppers and crisp vegetables, complemented by a balance of low-dose, high-quality, lab-tested cannabis extract. Starting August 29th, 2-ounce jars, Jardiniere are available in 25 milligrams for $10, 100 milligrams for $20 a dose at all New Era dispensaries locations, select cannabis dispensaries across Illinois for a limited time.
We gotta get some and have it on our pizza.
Yes. I know some people that work for New Era, so I might have to reach out and say, "Home some." I'm actually will be down. Hopefully, I'll be downtown tomorrow. So maybe I'll have to call and find out.
We need to stop and get some.
Galena, Illinois Library will host an educational program on cannabis. Cannabis 101 will be held from 5:30 to 6:30 on September 4th at the Galena Public Library. The event will feature staff from Canna & Company, a cannabis resource center based in Northwest Illinois. Topics will include the history of cannabis use and the evolution of cannabis culture and policy. I love it. At a library, go support. The more we support the local stuff like this, educational stuff, doesn't have to be a cannabis event where everyone's smoking weed and partying and having a great fucking time. it could be something like this where it's a learning education where you actually sit down deeply, get stoned before you go to the library, of course, but just go there and enjoy what the teachings and people taking the time out to teach you about weed. Go, you'll learn more, especially if you're a newbie and you want to learn more.
I went to a cannabis event at a library back in like 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was, I think it was ICCA, Illinois Cannabis Consumption. No, not that. Anyway, it was.
Was it Women in Weed? No.
Maybe.
Illinois Women in Weed?
Yeah,
Illinois Women in Cannabis.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
something like that.
Something like that. It was like one of their first early
Mm-hmm.
meetings too, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big news, the Supreme Court just granted cannabis firms like Verano, Wiseacre, Canna Provisions an extra 60 days to file their petition against federal prohibition, pushing the deadline from August 25th to August 24th. You had a very long time. Chief Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson approved, citing significant and complex constitutional issues and giving state governments and allies more space to craft amicus briefs. Oklahoma is dealing with the wild scene. Illegal marijuana farms are popping up, often tied to shell companies and foreign land loopholes. State Representative Jim Shaw is calling for tighter laws to shut down these sketch ops and close those shady loopholes fast. Looks like the sooner state's got to roll itself into tighter legal joints. Fun Canna just dropped Ready Paid. This kind of reminds me of fintech in the liquor game, where you can fintech holds money for you and it pays within a certain amount of time. So it's kind of nice that it's just like it holds your money and then pays the companies out. You get billed through fintech instead. It's actually kind of nice. So it kind of sounds like that. So Fun Canna dropped Ready Paid, the first automated business to business buy now, pay later platform made just for cannabis game. It's tackling over the $4 billion in unpaid invoices by giving sellers instant cash and buyers flexible pay terms. Approval takes under 4 minutes. It's like giving your business a quick dab of liquidity. No banks required.
Well,
yeah.
Smart.
Wall Street may have dipped out, but cannabis is thriving on its own terms. Brands like MFNY, Jeter, and Smokies are proving you don't need big finance to blaze a trail. Staying private means more freedom, less pressure, and focus on what matters, quality and customers. Who needs Wall Street when you've got your own hustle? Arizona's got a dilemma. Drought meets a booming cannabis biz. With over $1.3 billion in last year's sales, the green rush is thirsty, but water is tight. Yeah, you're in a fucking desert. Growers like Arise are stepping up with smart irrigation and indoor tech to conserve H2O. It's a balancing act, keeping the crops lush without draining the state dry. Stay green, stay conscious out there. There's 3 things we need to survive in this world: water, air, and food. Clothes are it's not something you need to live to survive.
Right.
But you need it.
It makes it easier.
Right. A home like this where you live in, it's not needed, but it's good to have. Because you can live in a cave. You can live
you can build shelter.
Right.
Anywhere.
You can build shelter. So, but the 3 things we need the most are the 3 things that are the most polluted and the most overconsumed and overused. What are they, Mrs. Weedman? Water, air, food. Remember that. I think we forget sometimes. Oklahoma is dealing with wild scene. No, I read that already. Sorry, everybody. Stoned. Mark a calendar for November 8, 2025 in Philly. The Rothman Opioid Foundation is hosting a free medical cannabis symposium at Sidney McKimmel Medical College. Docs, policymakers, and researchers will dive into pain management, opioid use, and cannabis science. Even former Eagles lineman Todd Hermans is joining the convo. It's like a tailgate for your brain. No pads, just knowledge. Some anti-cannabis groups just sent a letter to President Trump, the DOJ, and federal prosecutors saying D.C. dispensaries are too close to schools. They're calling it a violation of the Drug-Free Zone Schools Act. But there's a twist. D.C.'s officials say their local rules are in line. Looks like we've got a federal versus local showdown brewing. Nobody likes a rat.
No.
I fucking hate rats. And I'm not talking about the rats that live on the street.
Snitch.
Nobody like fucking snitches end up in ditches.
Snitches are bitches.
Yeah, that's right, Mrs. Weedman. Seriously. Mind your own fucking business. I fucking hate rats. Just dirty fucking rats. Just you get it back. It's a bitch. Come right back at you. Just watch. South Dakota Cannabis Crew is giving props to Pennington County Sheriff's Office for cracking down on synthetic THC products. They hit up 8 shops in Rapid City testing gummies, drinks, and vapes for banned compounds. The Cannabis Industry Association says it's about leveling the playing field. Why pay for MedCard when you can grab the same buzz at a vape shop? Michigan's cannabis scene just got a plot twist. A marijuana testing lab, once run by former state police employees, have been ordered to shut down. The lab's closes raises questions about oversight and transparency in the industry. Looks like the green rush is facing a little speed bump. Utah's medical cannabis program is facing some challenges. A recent survey found that nearly 12% of patients turned to unlicensed sources in the past 2 weeks. Why? 79% cited high cost, 46% struggle with inconsistent supply. Those using the program's info were less likely to go rogue. Looks like the green rush in Utah can use a little TLC in the Beehive State. I didn't know it was called the Beehive State. Did you? I did not know that.
No, I wouldn't have known that off the bat, but it's familiar.
Yeah. Well, it's over to you now, Mrs. Weedman. Take it over.
All right. I've got some more political, state, and business news. Republican Ayanna Pressley just dropped a resolution in Congress saying it's our moral obligation to legalize marijuana, expunge drug convictions, and open supervised consumption sites to save lives. It's all about justice for all, ending mass incarceration, racial bias, and the failed war on drugs. This isn't just policy. It's a call for real change. A big win for freedom. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals just ruled that medical cannabis patients shouldn't lose their Second Amendment rights. The court found that disarming citizens solely because they possess or consume cannabis isn't consistent with the nation's history and tradition of firearm regulation. Former Florida Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried called it a huge win for freedom. Florida's cannabis petition scene just sparked a legal debate. A judge ruled that the state can't block a medical marijuana petition over its alleged misleading language. The battle? Free speech versus state power. It's like a courtroom joint lit with legal tension. SUNY New Paltz University in New York is rolling out a new, completely online cannabis business workshop. In just 2 to 3 hours, you'll dive into New York-specific regulations, compliance, and financial management. Pass the exam, and you'll snag a Credit badge to flex on LinkedIn. Ready to get schooled? Sequoia National Park just got a major cleanup. Rangers busted a massive illegal grow, removing nearly 2,400 plants and 2,000 pounds of trash from a 13-acre site. That's pretty ballsy.
I saw the pictures. It was fucking ballsy. Crazy how many plants they had out there. It was
That's
nuts.
Crazy.
It was nuts.
Wow. From a 13-acre site, the culprits used banned pesticides and diverted water from creeks, threatening wildlife and ecosystems. It's a win for the park, but the fight will continue as they have to restore the land. New Jersey's got your back if you're looking to clear your cannabis record. Minor offenses like possession or small-time distribution, they're getting automatically expunged. Just hit up the njcourts.gov and find directive number 24-21. Print the form, fill it out, bring an ID to your local court, and boom, you're on your way to a clean slate. Maryland's MACCO summer conference just dropped some real talk on cannabis in the workplace. Fire Chief Tom Coe highlighted the risk of impairment in high-stakes roles, while Baltimore's Tanya Brinkley shared how the city's adapting policies for sensitive positions. Union Rep Grant Walker emphasized protecting workers' rights, and attorney Kevin Karpinski broke down legal angles. It's a balancing act. Public safety meets employee rights. Nevada's cannabis economy is flexing. According to UNLV's Cannabis Policy Institute, it's now ranked among the top 5 in the United States since legalization nearly a decade ago. The state has seen explosive growth in retail and wholesale revenues. The report highlights key trends like price fluctuations, market share shifts, and the rise of THC-infused beverages. Nevada's green rush is real, and it is thriving. Ignite It is back and blazing its own trail. Formerly Benzinga Cannabis, this powerhouse is now independent and laser focused on the cannabis business.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
before you go to this next one, I
Yep.
gave you this one for a reason.
Yeah.
Because you were just there a year ago.
Oh, okay. But I didn't finish this yet.
Oh, you didn't? Okay,
No.
sorry. This next one you're going to read.
Okay, but wait. They're keeping the Cannabis Capital Conference, Cannabis Daily Newsletter, and Market Spotlight events rolling. Led by former Benzinga execs, Ignite It is all about connecting, educating, and elevating the cannabis industry.
Oh, I was reading that and I thought I heard it, so that's why I went to the next article.
You know, like panicked for a minute.
I wanted to introduce this next. I was reading, I thought I heard it. That's so fucked up. So this next one here, you were just here a couple of years ago, right? In this area, and we've lived there and we love that area too. So I had to give this to you. This
Well, thanks.
little article's for you.
Key Largo, the mangroves, just spilled some tea. While walking, someone found 10 packages believed to be marijuana off Little Angelfish Creek Channel. Later that day, more were discovered near the Ocean Reef Club, a posh spot known for its luxury. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is on it, though, handing over the goods to the U.S. Border Patrol. Looks like the Keys are still a hot spot for hidden green.
You know how much green and cocoa and all the good stuff in the bales are around the Keys and all the
I
islands
never
around the Keys?
saw anything float up in front of our house. Or maybe someone else checked the shores before I woke up.
Your father did, though.
Yeah, but I got a boat. I woke up to a boat.
But your father
in
found
there.
some bales when he
Did
was
he?
on a boat. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he did.
Oh, yeah. He found some floating around. He told me about it.
Yeah.
Went to some
What do you do
island.
with it?
He knew some guy that knew a guy that knew a guy.
My dad always knew the guy. Well, I thought this was appropriate. If you like pina coladas, getting caught with some Jane.
Pretty good, Miss
That was
Weedman.
right.
I like that.
I know. All right, moving on. No supply, no high. Licensed cannabis retailers are ready to roll with no yield. Minnesota's Office of Cannabis Management has licensed several retailers, but none of them have opened because they have no cannabis to sell. State law requires they only sell cannabis grown in Minnesota, but cultivators were in line for licenses along with everyone else, so their first crop won't arrive until this fall. Other sources, like tribes and medical cannabis providers, are not ready to distribute cannabis either. So retailers are left holding the bag. We'll have to see how this pans out. Sounds like another state is off to a rough start with weed.
There we go.
Mr. Weedman, it's back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
South Park just roasted Trump over the cannabis rescheduling drama. In a recent episode, Randy Marsh sends my favorite character, Towley. I won't get a little high. Can I get a little high first? Can I just get a little high? And a good friend of ours who did some of our production and pictures, Braden, he has Towley sneakers.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, so jelly.
And his eyes change colors.
It does. They go from white to fucking
red.
with little
When the
lines
sun-
through it. Yeah.
from the sunlight.
Towley, and pitches a deal to the Prez. Reclassify weed to Schedule 3 in exchange for a lavish towel gift. Trump, ever the deal maker, laughs it off and adds it to his growing collection of gifts from industry insiders. The show jabs, mirrors real-life lobbying efforts and Trump's own cannabis rescheduling talks. Towley. I love Towley. Cheech and Chong aren't just stoner legends. They're cannabis moguls. Their empire is worth over $100 million, with each owning 8%. They're developing pharmaceuticals derived from cannabis and psilocybin to treat conditions like autism, PTSD, and depression. Their brand is not just about laughs, it's about healing and innovation. From comedy to cannabis, they're proving that the green rush is no joke. Virginia's cannabis rollout is finally sparkling to life. The state's bipartisan commission is mapping out the retail market to set to launch in 2026. Or by 2026. They're looking at lessons from states like Maryland and Colorado, focusing on equity, small business, and smart taxation. Yes, do not follow Illinois. Do not follow anything Illinois has done with their taxation. Please, you'll destroy your market right off the bat. Second highest taxes in the fucking country. Ridiculous how much the state makes on cannabis taxes, and you don't deserve any of it. With projected revenues hitting $87.8 million by 2031, it's a green wave coming to the Old Dominion. A new hip hop artist that I started listening to, I don't know, about a year ago, and I know this is this hip hop artist rapper's third album, and Big Extra Plug. You've heard his song Microwave that always confused me when I turn it on because it has microwave.
Yes, I'm like, why is the microwave beeping again?
I'm a fan. he's just got a good voice. He's smooth. He's got a great flow, and he kind of reminds me of Mike Jones in some ways. And I love Mike Jones. So 4-4s I'm tipping. Wood grain I'm dripping. But Big X the Plug was arrested just hours before dropping his new album. I Hope You're Happy. That's the name of the album. The Dallas rapper was charged with marijuana possession and unlawful firearm possession. Despite his legal troubles, he's making waves in the country rap, collaborating with artists like Lou Combos. He's got a new song with, who sings that song? Oh, Jelly Roll, Darius Rucker. His single, All the Way, hit number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. If you haven't heard of him, he's just got this fucking flow about. Mrs. Weedman knows I love hip hop, and I've been listening to hip hop since like probably 78, 79 when I lived in the Bronx, New York. So where hip hop started, and we heard it on the streets. We break dancing in the early 80s, all that stuff. We heard it all. Mrs. Weedman makes.
God, I wish I was there.
It's where it all started.
Be like, go Paul, go Paul. Look at me, I can't even like keep a beat right now.
My name wasn't that though on the streets.
What was it?
Kid Fresh.
Oh, Kid Fresh, right. Pop your collar.
I didn't have a collar though when I went out to break dance. If you did,
you'd be like,
I had my red and white
Kid Fresh
tracksuit on.
That's right.
Now I have a green and black white one that you bought me, and I love it.
It needs to say Kid Fresh.
Kid Fresh.
I forgot about that.
So, I mean, I'm a huge hip hop fan, and I really like him. I like his flow. I like his style. I like his hard, graspy voice. He's a good hip hop artist, rapper. I just fucking like him, and I like what he's doing. So, but that song Microwave is fucking, oh my God, I probably play it like a couple times a week. It hits, it's a hard beat and hard. So, once again, I'm nerding out. I'm a nerd. NBA legend Sean Kemp is facing a legal fast break after pleading guilty to second-degree assault. He got a light sentence, 30 days of home monitoring, 240 hours of community service, and a year correctional supervision. But the real foul, his cannabis license is on the line. Washington State's guidelines say felons can't hold a license within 10 years. Sucks. Minnesota just raised its cannabis tax from 10% to 15%. Ugh. Making it one of the highest in the nation. They haven't even started yet, everybody. Haven't even started yet. And you're already getting your tax raised from 10 to 15%. Who are these people? Industry insiders and lawmakers warn this could push consumers back to the black market. You can home grow and grow 5 pounds of weed. You should never go to a fucking dispensary in Minnesota if you can grow 5 pounds of weed. I would fucking, oh my God, you know how much money how much weed I'd smoke?
I mean, just smoking.
With taxes topping 24% in Minneapolis, dispensaries fear losing customers to unregulated sellers offering low prices and fewer hassles. Even Senator Ann Reset, you should reset your taxes, is concerned this move mirrors California's tax missteps. Florida State Senator Joe Gruters is now the new chair of Republican National Committee, and he's all in on marijuana legalization. Gruters, who's campaigned for cannabis reform in Florida, says it's personal mission. With President Trump's endorsement, this could signal a shift in the GOP cannabis policy. Could we see a green wave in these red states?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be fucking real nice. It'd be real nice just for the whole country just to start getting on board.
Yeah.
You all right there?
I'm just hot.
Oh, look at those arms. The guns are out.
Yeah, my
guns are out.
Watch out.
Watch out, everybody.
Watch out.
We were getting feisty over there.
Watch out. Kick your ass. I'm really tough.
So tell us, Mrs. Weedman, why cannabis rescheduling
got
matters.
The sleeves off today.
Oh, the guns, bam. So why cannabis rescheduling matters, but still falls short. High times. Tell us about Ms. Weedman.
Well, we've always stood for decriminalization and full legalization of cannabis. That hasn't changed. But moving cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 isn't enough. It's not even close. It's still a half measure that keeps the plant criminalized and controlled. Yet, we'll take it for now because it offers something we can't ignore: immediate relief for people and businesses who continue to bear the weight of prohibition's cruelties. For decades, we have pushed for full descheduling, the end of prohibition, freedom for the plant, and for the people who built the movement. The fight is far from over, but right now, the reform on the table is rescheduling cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. It's not the final destination, and it is not liberation, but it's a step forward. And that's better than standing still or going backward. Some voices in our community warn that celebrating Schedule 3 is a mistake, since it keeps cannabis criminalized. They say it falls short of the dream, and they're right, partially. Schedule 3 will not free prisoners, erase the stigmas, or guarantee equity for small growers and legacy operators. Taking one step toward justice does not mean abandoning the full march to justice. It just means we're moving. Think of Uruguay. In 2013, it became the first country in the world to legalize adult use cannabis. The law was criticized as clunky and incomplete. Supply was limited. Many were frustrated, but Uruguay broke the ice.
Yeah, they did.
By starting, it created space to improve, and over time, the system became stronger. That's the logic of progress. Start, then refine. Cannabis has been trapped in Schedule 1 for decades, labeled as having no medical value and high potential for abuse. That label has been a weapon against science and a chokehold on the industry. Moving to Schedule 3 would shift two massive barriers. Taxes. Section 280E prevents cannabis businesses from deducting ordinary expenses, which means effective tax rates of 60, 70, and even 80%. Under Schedule 3, 280E would no longer apply, and cannabis companies could finally operate like ordinary businesses instead of criminals. For many small shops and growers, this would be the difference between shutting down and surviving. And research. Scientists would gain clearer paths to study cannabis, more clinical data, more evidence, more legitimacy. Not total freedom, but an opening. With data comes proof, and with proof comes power. The catch-22 of no research allowed, no research available will begin to crumble. There's a real fear within the cannabis movement that rescheduling means handling cannabis to big pharma and giant multi-state operators while shutting out the grassroots operators. But the reality is much more nuanced. Schedule 3 does not lock cannabis into a pharmaceutical-only box or erase state programs. Dispensaries will still exist and state-licensed operators will still run markets. The FDA could, in theory, claim more oversight, but that is neither automatic nor immediate. So will large companies benefit? Yes. But so will small ones. Relief from 280E and access to banking are lifelines for everyone. This won't be the death of craft cannabis, but a shift in the terrain. It's a change that carries risks and opportunities for both sides. Descheduling remains the goal. Cannabis should be treated like alcohol, regulated, accessible, and free from the chains of the Controlled Substances Act. But that road is not a straight line. Change in America almost never comes in one sweeping act. Civil rights, LGBTQ, women's rights, none were achieved in one day with one law. They continually advance like stepping stones through imperfect victories that laid the foundation for bigger ones.
That was good.
Cannabis is no different. Schedule 3 is not legalization or liberation, but it is momentum, and momentum is what turns movements into victories. We are standing at a crossroads. Some will reject Schedule 3 as too little. Others will call it breakthrough. Both are true. If we treat Schedule 3 as the finish line, we fail. If we treat it as a milestone, we can build upon it, step by step from prohibition to freedom. The plant deserves liberation, and people deserve justice. Schedule 3 does not deliver either in full, but it moves us closer. And right now, closer is better than stuck. So let's take this step as progress and keep walking until cannabis is truly free.
I read about 8 different articles from last Tuesday all the way to Monday when I put the show together, all about the rescheduling. There's probably a ton more. There's so many out there. This was when Biden was talking about getting into Schedule 3. All this news is the same news we've been talking about just all over again because it possibly could happen.
Right.
Maybe in another week, maybe in 2 more weeks. Who knows? But you just need to keep on building that momentum that it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what happens in the future. We just need to get to that next step. And then there's another step, and then there's another step. So just keep the good fight, keep positive, keep on believing it will happen. Mrs. Weedman needs it to happen before in the next 2 years, because then it holds true 8 decades. So
That would help.
Huh?
That would help.
Yeah. International news. Philippine Senate drama alert after a staffer allegedly used marijuana in the Senate building. Naughty, naughty, naughty. 2 senators are pushing for random drug testing to keep things clean. Senator Joel Villanova says he's open to testing himself, leading by example. Meanwhile, staffer Nadia Montenegro denies the claims, saying she was vaping, not using cannabis. Senator Robin Padilla, a medical marijuana advocate, has placed Montenegro on leave. Canada's cannabis just leveled up. A recent study shows today's weed is up to 5 times stronger than it was 20 years ago.
Wow.
Researchers say the potency boost is due to advanced cultivation techniques and selective breeding. While it's a win for connoisseurs, experts warn consumers to start slow and know their limits. What, Mrs. Weedman?
Start slow. Start low. Go slow.
Moderation.
Moderation.
There it
Yeah,
is.
that's easier.
Canada's cannabis seed is growing, but at a chill pace. June sales hit 480.2 million, up just 0.2% from May. While it's a solid year-over-year increase of 7.4%, it's a slowdown from 20.3% growth seen last August. More stores and lower flower prices are helping, but the market's still mellowing out. Brazil's cannabis scene is lighting up. The 9th Expo Head Grow returns this weekend in Sao Paulo's Neocomincia Arena. With over 120 exhibitors and 15,000 visitors expected, the event showcases Brazil's evolving cannabis culture. Attendees can enjoy some reggae, grime, and hip-hop performances, plus panels of cultivation and patient advocacy. Tickets start at around $120. Australia's Senate is finally giving hemp the green light it deserves. An inquiry has kicked off to remove hemp from the drug laws that treat it like any other crop. Advocates say this could boost farming, construction, and sustainability. With submissions closing September 12th, it's time to roll up your thoughts and get involved. In Lagos, police made a high-speed discovery. During a routine stop in the Ojo area, officers pulled over an ash-colored Toyota Sienna. The driver bailed, leaving behind 2 bags of suspected cannabis, an armory jungle hat, and 2 ATM cards. The vehicle and items have been handed over to the special squad for further investigation. And that is international news, everybody. Mr. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
Do you like to dance?
I do.
You do like to dance. And you especially like to dance after smoking a good joint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we love going to, we're
Loud
fucking,
music.
Yeah, we're EDM heads. We love going to see a lot of dance music. And
It's been a minute, though. We're overdue.
yeah, it is overdue. We missed North Coast this weekend, unfortunately.
All right. So I'm going to read about.
You're going to tell us a little bit about how cannabis can help you dance the night away.
Sometimes the only thing standing between you and the dance floor is a little self-consciousness. For generations, people have turned to music, movement, and a splash of liquid courage to loosen up. But today, Gen Z and millennials are discovering a little cannabis instead can help you dance. In small doses, cannabis is helping people find their groove without a messy hangover the next day. Think of it as a modern update to the classic dance montage. Remember Kevin Bacon in Footloose kicking off his shoes and defying a no dancing town ordinance? His rebel energy was all about freedom, joy, and shaking loose from the rules. The same spirit is alive today, only now it comes with a puff. It's not just a Gen Z trend either. Millennials who grew up watching Saturday night dance shows like Solid Gold or tuning into the funky moves of Soul Train know dancing isn't about perfection. It's about expression. Cannabis can help tap into the flow, making your body follow the beat instead of overthinking the steps. Researchers are starting to explore the connection between cannabis and movement. While too much can make you sluggish, consumers report small amounts heighten sensory awareness and make music feel deeper, almost physical. It's why some DJs and party planners are experimenting with cannabis-friendly dance events, where wellness and rhythm replace the chaos of all-night clubbing. For many, the benefits go beyond just having fun. Dancing with the help of cannabis can ease social anxiety, provide a sense of belonging, and even offer a workout that feels less like exercise and more like celebration. After all, who needs a treadmill when you can laugh with friends while dancing for an hour straight? The cannabis and dancing trend isn't about getting high and wild, it's about reclaiming joy in movement. With some inspiration from Footloose, throw on your sneakers. Maybe cue up an old Soul Train line and realize dance is medicine for the spirit and soul. Next time you're invited to a wedding reception, a house party, or just tempted to crank up Spotify in your living room, consider having a little cannabis first. It might be the secret to feeling free on the dance floor, because sometimes you just have to let music lead the way.
Yeah. Lead the way, Mrs. Weedman.
Yeah.
Lead me to the dance floor. We do like to dance. I do. It's very enjoyable. I can only dance to the beat of my own drum, though, unfortunately. Mrs. Weedman makes fun of me. She goes, "What beat are you dancing to?" My own drum. I can dance, but not to the beat. My own beat.
You're good. You dance well. You're all right.
I'm all right, Spider?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'd like to thank our sponsors of this show and the sponsors of 8 Decades, bring in our new partners, Goodies Dispensary in Streamwood, Illinois. Thanks for sponsoring this episode 272. We appreciate you, and thanks for being a partner of 8decades.com. Mrs. Weedman.
Mr. Weedman.
Do you got anything else to say?
Well, I need to tell Big Earl that this strain of weed is wild. Should be called Wild Cherry Gelato.
Wild Platinum
Cherry Lemon Platinum. Blah, 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 blah.
There you go.
Thank you, Big Earl.
Oh, shit.
Everybody, stay well.
Love it. Hey, everybody out there in the world. Thank you for listening to the show. We really appreciate you. Also, thank you for just showing us love, sending us DMs, telling us how much you like the show. You keep us going and fighting every day for the legalization of cannabis across this country. We love you out there. As Paulie always says, smoke smart, puff puffing away.
Puff, puff, pass.
Check out our cannabis lifestyle brand online at 8decades.com. Our custom smokes and accessories are perfect for your coffee table, bedroom nightstand, or kitchen counter. They're designed for you to show them off. The Canna community is also loving our hemp and cotton blend t-shirts, sweatshirts, scarves, and hats, finished off with our 8 Decades logo. We've got some awesome, long-lasting goods that will be your favorite for years to come. 8 Decades, because a 9th decade of cannabis prohibition isn't acceptable.